got bitten by a mosquito, and she got malaria. Y'all, Charleston had 50 medical epidemics on record before 1850. I'm talking things we don't even worry about. Smallpox, tuberculosis, dysentery, cholera. But the number 1 and 2 killers killed 1 in 4 of us one summer, 1 out of 3 one summer. Mosquito-borne illness, yellow fever, malaria were killing us by the thousands. Where I live, James Island, a marsh, a lot of plantations, old plantations used to be there. The number 1 killer of a child in the 1800s was a child simply getting bitten by a mosquito and dying from that mosquito bite. I have a 6-year-old boy. I think about this all the time, y'all. It's a nice time to be alive. We don't have yellow fever, malaria here. But y'all, I did a little Googling. Don't do this. Mosquito killed 1 million people around the world last year. Be another 1 million this year. They're literally the most dangerous things around us. Mosquito-borne illness in the United States is on the rise by over 175% since 2000. It happened again, y'all. I know, it gets too real, y'all. It's just too real right off the bat. Anybody got any bug spray? I'm all out. But yeah, I am going to tell you the story of Eliza. She died. She fell into a coma. Little Eliza, malaria. The doctors came by. They pronounced her dead. They had a service for her, laid her to rest in the family tomb. 6 weeks later, her aunt gets sick of a disease. She dies. They have a service for her after she died. They put her back in the same family tomb, and they get back in there, and Eliza's body was not where they had left it. Her body had moved from the top shelf. It was blocking the door, and that's when they realized she was still in a coma when they left her back there, and she died back there, trapped. She couldn't get out. Nobody could hear her scream. Now, how could something like this happen, y'all? Well, medically speaking, there's no Tylenol PM. There's no IVs. Doctors weren't even necessarily doctors. I mean, you could just move here and say you were a doctor. I mean, honestly, they hadn't invented the stethoscope. And so they checked her pulse, and it was so faint. They actually took a mirror, held it up under her nose. If it fogs up, you live it. Her breath was so faint, it didn't fog up. Further confirmation she was dead. And y'all, if you had a disease, they wanted to get rid of your body in 24 hours, so you wouldn't pass that disease around. They didn't know much about this. And so after this terrible death of this young girl, we started wondering, I mean, have we been burying people alive for this whole time? So they dug up the last 20 people that died of a disease or epidemic, did a little research, and yeah, we had a problem. We were burying people alive. How they know? They dig up 20 coffins. 3 out of those 20, that's over 10%. Those people they found with their hands in the air, and they found claw marks and inside of that wood coffin lid, realizing those people woke up and had no idea what the heck was going on. There are not many worse ways to die in this world than that way right here. And guess what, y'all? Burying people alive, not just a Charleston problem. This was happening all over where burials were happening. I know this because some guy invented something to try and prevent this from happening. I give him an A for effort. He gave it a try. It became common to take a ribbon or string, tie it around the dead person's wrist, put you in the ground, and put that ribbon or string up through a copper pipe, connects to a bell, sits above your grave. You would hire 2 people, sit in the graveyard, and listen for that bell to ring. That'd be working the graveyard shift. It'd sit out there for a couple hours just to be safe. Because if you woke up in a box from a coma, you probably do what I do, right? You start moving and shaking. Ding, ding, ding. That bell starts going crazy. Those guys were ready with shovels, and they would run over and dig you up and hopefully save you from your impending death. Again, A for effort. Not many people were ever saved, but people have been saved. And y'all, when they were saved, they were being known as saved by the bell. And say you ring that bell and they couldn't save you, which actually happened a lot, you'd be known as a dead ringer after ringing the bell. And so, y'all, old phrases have old origins. 1681 this graveyard goes back to. These blocks we're going to walk date back to 1680 when the British colonized this area. And so we're actually going to go to a different type atmosphere around the corner. It's going to be bright, it might be loud. It's a haunted restaurant around the corner on Queen Street. So we're going to walk over here to Queen Street.